Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another great episode of Landscaping the Point. Me and JC are here, and we are live. It is a Thursday night, which is a little bit different. We've been busy the last couple of weeks, and this week we've been busy all over the place with all kinds of stuff. I've been trying to get a lot of work done. I know JC's been busy with all kinds of stuff with work and without work. So it's just a normal time of year, guys. We are now into July of 2026. So hopefully every one of you guys are out and you're just enjoying this part of the year. I know I am. But hey, we're in Landscaping the Point. So let's get straight to the point, guys. Welcome in. Welcome, no matter where you're listening, watching. Glad to have you guys here. Even if you're listening to Spotify, leave us a comment. We'd love to hear that. No matter where you're at, we'd love to have a comment or, talk about whatever you want to talk about. So we're here to talk about many things, not only green industry topics, but we get into all kinds of different things. And that's why it's called Things, this podcast. So we're going to get into some really deep things, I think, today. So JC, what's going on, my brother? How's it been? You've been busy. I know I've been busy. So what's new?
Yeah. Man, it's just repetitive, but it is busy. And the good thing is next week ain't going to be so busy because I actually have a week off, which I am truly, truly, truly going to enjoy and try to get the best of it. I know sometimes when I have time off, like, vacations, I have all these ideas and plans in my head of like what I want to do. And then I get lazy. And then sometimes I just veg out and then the vacation passes and I'm like, oh, I did like two of the things that I actually wanted to do.
Right. It's one of those things you never know what you're going to do on a week, especially when you're like on a break like that, like, or even a vacation. Unless you got it planned, you're kind of like, okay, we're going to do this, but a lot of times you don't know what you're going to do. You're just like, okay, I'm going on vacation. I'm just going to sit around. And then the next thing you know, you're doing chores around the house or you're doing something and you're like, man, that went so fast. What did I do this week? Why did I take off so much time? But yeah, it's always good to have a good time, and away from some stuff. So
yeah, for sure.
What do you want to do stuff next week?
Yeah. I have many things I think I have in mind that I want to do, but I spend more time thinking about the things I want to do than actually doing them. It's like, there's so many things I could do. I mean, I could clean out my garage, which I've always wanted to do, this year so far. Work on the car, go to the beach. I haven't been to the beach in a very long time. So, I say that, but I probably will not end up going.
Right.
Just getting stuff done around the house that, like, I guess you tend to procrastinate when you have a bunch of work going on because like you don't want to just start doing like 2 hours, work on that project for like 2 hours at a time. Like you just want to go in and get it done. So I think I'll probably end up cleaning out the garage. Who knows?
It's something. I mean, it is something. Yeah. I mean, doing anything is a good thing. I mean, sporting events are pretty good when you're on a break too, to go to a sporting event. Even if it's something like in your local town. I mean, just going to see like the high school baseball or, minor leagues or, major leagues if you're in one of those cities, that's got major leagues close by. Just going and doing something, man. I mean, enjoy that time you got off, even if you're at a lake, man. If you're at a lake, enjoy the water, or by the ocean, enjoy it. Like just go there and enjoy for even a couple hours. I mean, just a couple hours that makes your whole week feel more excited. So yeah. So this last weekend, I hate to say this, but I won tickets. I don't know if you know JC, but I won tickets. It was kind of like last minute, but I won tickets and I got to go to the Chicagoland Speedway for the O'Reilly's race. And I got invited by Josh Bowicki, which is one of the drivers for NASCAR. So I got to sit in his what do you call it? His car hauler, because it rained for 2.5 hours. So we sat in his car hauler for 2.5 hours and shot the shit, which was actually pretty cool to be in with a NASCAR driver and be able to sit there and be one-on-one with him instead of, like waiting to be like one of those fans. And then we also got to meet with a couple other lawn guys, Chris Horning from Horning Lawn Service, which has been on this show before, and then
Oh yeah.
Mike from Creekside. Uh, he was one of the sponsors of the car, and he was there, so we got to meet with him. And then Garanimum, which is pretty much LMN and all that stuff. They were pretty much one of the sponsors too of the car. So pretty much I got to meet a bunch of them people over there. So it was nice to get to actually meet some people, out from different areas and in our industry. You never see anybody from our industry literally that sponsor cars for NASCAR. So it's kind of like one of those things that you're like, wow, that's pretty good. So, but I had a really good
Pretty
time,
awesome.
and got to see stuff up close, which a lot of times you don't get to see stuff up close. So it's actually pretty good. So, but yeah, enough about me. Let's go into some things. JC, do you what do we want to talk about? Let's talk about conspiracy theories. I mean, I think there's
Yeah.
a lot of those out there that we need to talk about. One of them is like the Mandela effect. Do you believe things are changing? And do you feel like companies are saying that they're not true?
I mean, I don't really trust when some of like the influencers online are saying that that the companies are denying these things. I think companies are always changing all the time, and um, I think us, like in our generation, we've seen that change throughout the years. Like think about it, like the way McDonald's buildings used to look like, and the way they look now, they're changing for kind of more of a cookie cutter approach. But I'm kind of going off track there, but there's a lot of things that we remember, and no one could tell me that they never existed
Right.
because we've been through it. And I was kind of making fun of it earlier, but many of underwear I've stained that had the fruit of the loon cornucopia
Yeah.
on it. So
Yeah, I think that's
yeah.
one of the biggest ones. I think because a lot of people are saying that there was never a logo on there, and yeah, there was. There was a logo on it when we were kids, and it's one of those things that they deny. Even the people at the company have denied that. No, we've never had that on there. So where did the logo go? Where did our underwear go that we were wearing from back then? I wish I still had underwear from when I was a teenager, but there's no way I
Yeah.
could prove that really. So. So it's
And it's funny because like the stuff you see online, like people will post photos of like, hey, I found this at the thrift store, and this proves that that it had it. And I don't know. Let's maybe whoever's listening now or afterwards, like put in the comments. Did it have a cornucopia or no? Um, I'm a believer that it did have it because I do remember. We all had Fruit of the Loom when we were kids. And then for the companies that are saying that it never existed, I'm wondering if that's coming from like a younger representative of the company that wasn't even born when the cornucopia was around. So to them, they never believed it existed because they've never seen it.
I agree. I agree on that because I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people that are younger that never experienced that stuff, so they don't believe that it's there. The company might have took it off of the logo and stuff just to kind of simplify it in some ways, or make it easier for them to make and stuff. And so
Mm.
people realize that like, hey, maybe it's not there. So I think yeah, you're right on that. I think maybe the younger generation has not seen some of that stuff, so it's kind of one of those things like, oh well, how is it like that? So it's I think one of the things is like you had said, uh like the McDonald's. I mean, the McDonald's, I remember like going in every McDonald's and having burger seats, little burger seats that you sat on, and there was tons of, you know, Ronald McDonald around and Grimace and Fry Guy and all that stuff. And, they kind of denied it for a while that never was there. And then now they're kind of coming back like, hey, look at these characters, and it's like, them characters were out when we were young. Like,
Right.
why did you take them away in the first place? Maybe to save money. Maybe you didn't want that as one of your logos again, or it's one of those things that I think a lot of things have changed over the years, and maybe, like I said, maybe it's money situations, maybe it's they want to change their image, but it's out there. So why would you try to change something and deny it? That's one of the main things that kind of always throw me for a loop sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I think one of them, the other one was too. I saw one that people were saying that the Sprite bottles were never green.
Yeah, I was seeing that one the other day too. I was kind of like, yeah, they were green. All of them were.
Always.
Yeah, the green. I remember when glass bottles was really big when I was younger, and there was the Sprite green bottles, and you're like, okay, like why are these green? The liquid still came out white. It was like, what do you mean? And then now they're saying, oh, we never had green bottles. What? Wait a minute,
Right.
like you did have green bottles. You just don't want to come out and say that that there was green bottles. But if you look back, I mean, I hate to say this, but I'm correct. I think Mountain Dew had the same thing, and they were kind of one of their things was because one of the original Mountain Dews were green bottles, and they said something about it helped it like not like go bad right off the bat because it kept it a cooler temperature compared to some of the newer ones where they changed them to white bottles. So I feel like that is maybe it could be a factor, when it comes to cooling and keeping out in heat, and making sure that it's the right way. I don't know. I mean, it could be. I could be throwing a conspiracy theory out there. Who knows? So.
No, you're not wrong at all. Think of it this way, right? Corona beer is in a clear bottle.
Yep.
Why do you think people put limes in it? It's because the light kind of prematurely skunks the beer a little bit. That's why you get beer with brown bottles. You get your Bud Lights, your Budweisers, like Coors Light. All these beer companies, like they have darker bottles on purpose. But yeah, Corona is very specific to its clear bottle, and that's why they promote putting a lime with it, so it kind of kills a little bit of the bitterness of the skunk beer. But yeah, I don't know if a lot of people knew that or anybody knew that, but yeah, that's the reason why.
That's a lot of things I think people don't realize. They don't think about that stuff. They just go off of somebody saying, "Oh, that why these bottles are just clear, or they're brown." But there's a lot out there. What do you think about? Here you go. Here's one I'm going to throw out there, and I know there's a couple of people listening to us, but what about the Earth being hollow and having a separate ecosystem in the middle of the Earth? Here we go. We're going to throw this out there. Like, I'm just throwing that out there because I've heard so many things about that. And then I hear stuff like the Earth is magma. It's going to burn us all down and all that stuff. So what's your thoughts?
Hold on.
What have you heard?
So I've never heard that. I've never heard that.
Yeah,
people think that there's like another world inside our world.
Yeah, people have said, and I've seen things. Scientists and other people have said that the Earth is hollow in the middle, and there's like a whole nother ecosystem in there with like dinosaurs live down there and everything. That once you got down there, it's like total different ecosystem, and that like the dinosaurs are living perfectly down there. They're not extinct, and something about there you can get to it through Alaska. There's supposedly up part of Alaska towards Antarctica. There's like a tunnel that you can go through, and it takes you all the way down to the middle of the Earth. I don't believe this shit myself, but
no, that's even more wilder than the whole flat Earth.
Yeah, see, and there you go. There's another one, flat Earth. Like there's still people out there that believe that the Earth is flat. Like that, you fly a plane, you don't go around. You just fly straight across.
Yeah, that's impossible. But anyways, no, I do not believe that there's another world, another ecosystem inside of our Earth where it's hollow and dinosaurs are roaming. Because if you go that far down, that means that area would have to be smaller, like super smaller. And the Earth is, it's, believe it or not, Earth ain't as big as we really think of it to be. Most of it is water, 75%, right?
Right.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, there's heat generated no matter how, based on how far you're going down. what are they doing for air? What are they doing for oxygen? Right? Like,
Yeah.
you got to get it somewhere. So absolutely not. That's just anybody who believes that should probably go back to school.
Yeah. Here we go. We got one that somebody commented on Instagram. So please, guys, comment what your conspiracy theories are, and we'll talk a little bit more about them. Hecubus, my buddy on Instagram, Russell says there's a James Bond movie with Jaws character. I don't know if you've ever seen the Jaws character. Okay. It ends with him talking to a girl with braces on. But now, if you rewatch it, she doesn't have the braces on. But the whole point of it originally in the movie was her having them on because she was his daughter. And I think that's one of the things we're starting to see now. And I hate to say this, guys, we're starting to see some of these movies that we have seen a younger version of us have seen it. And now they're starting to re-show them, and they're like re-editing stuff out or re-changing things up because they don't want it to be the way it was, because they think it's right. Stupid or whatever. So I think there's a lot of movies now that are starting to do that we're just like, oh, what? But only us that have seen it, or people that have watched this movie multiple times will sit there and watch it and be like, wait a minute, that's not right. That's not the way it was. And I feel like maybe these movie companies are changing it up to try to get people to watch it and notice this stuff, or people are just changing it up just to mess with other people, and get new viewers. So it's one of those things. I think there's a lot of conspiracy on that in total, so.
I believe it, because I think that's the problem with digital media nowadays, because nobody has DVDs anymore, or you're starting to see less of DVDs being sold in stores, and less VHS tapes are pretty much non-existent now. So companies or movie companies have the ability to do that without getting into politics. Look what they did in Home Alone. They completely edited the part where Donald Trump was in, telling Macaulay Culkin where, what the lobby was or whatever. Right. But, like, I think some Disney movies too, where maybe they found like drawings that were inappropriate, kind of hidden in the background. Like, they realized that and they edited some things out of it. Kind of going back into a political perspective, like some things that back then we didn't think of as being offensive, some people nowadays will kind of think that it is. So maybe like some of these movie companies have been changing certain things in movies to kind of make it, to not offend people, I guess. I don't know. I definitely believe that. And for his Mandela effect about the braces, I believe that. Yeah, I think it could have been. I don't remember watching that movie, those old James Bond movies, but I could see that she had braces, and then like at some point in time they deleted that from the scenes, or they removed it from the scenes, and it's different nowadays.
Right. I believe it. I mean, I do remember the movie. We do watch James Bond movies every once in a while, and I've watched a couple with him in it, with Jaws in it, but now I'm going to have to definitely go back and watch it and watch the end and see if it's true or not. Because like you said, I think with AI now, they can just go in there and, change things up real quick, and like you said, I have seen Disney movies literally change stuff up to where they're changing it up totally to where they're trying to make it more child friendly, more people friendly, to where people aren't getting pissed off because of what it said on there. And I hate to say this. A lot of people probably get pissed at me because I'm saying it, but quit changing the way it was originally made. Like, just leave it the way it is. Like, some things are gonna offend people. I hate to say that, but some things are gonna offend people. Like, and it may not made because it was trying to offend somebody, but somebody gets offended, so just leave it the way it is and let other people view what they want and make their own decisions on it, not change it up because you're offending 5 people or 6 people that you don't want that in total. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I agree.
What about aliens in Area 51? At one point, we all believed that there was aliens in Area 51. Do you believe that there's aliens in Area 51?
No, I believe in aliens. That's
Yeah.
funny enough, but I don't think there's aliens in Area 51. I think there's like, top secret, like maybe government or military projects. Area 51. Maybe they have kind of recovered certain things, but I don't think there was like aliens walking around and being interviewed. And you remember like when we were kids and we go to the grocery store and we go to the checkout lane and they'd have those like those weird newspapers that like, Bill Clinton had a meeting with an alien,
Right.
it's like a picture. Like, come on, man. I mean, it's funny. Back then when we were kids, we knew it was stupid, but no, I don't believe in that. I think people are gonna question things like that a lot more when nobody knows the answers to certain things. I think we've talked about it in the past too, in past podcasts, like like Bigfoot and the Loch Ness monster and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't think there's no aliens like freely walking around or being interviewed in Area 51. There's other stuff.
Oh, I think so. I agree with you on that. I mean, yeah, there could be aliens, and but I know like Area 51 is more secretive because that's kind of the area where they tested nuclear bombs, and then they've tested a lot of military vehicles that they don't want to be leaked out, and that's one of the reasons why it originally was made was for testing. So I don't really, if there is aliens in there, that's cool that they're in there, but I don't think they would hide it for so many years saying, oh, with everybody else saying, oh yeah, we have aliens in there, I don't know. So uh what about weekly world news back at the supermarkets back in the day? That's what you used to say. Here, all them weird things they would say on top of them, like,
Yeah.
oh, this person, like the, Queen of England's, marrying, some poor guy in in Ohio or something, and you'd be like, what, where did that
Yeah.
come from? Like,
Yeah.
that was some funny stuff.
Like
Whoever
Elvis
made,
Presley's still alive and he's an
yep,
Amazon delivery driver.
yeah, yeah, come on. Like, we know he's all dead, but so many people believe that he's not dead. So, it's like that's another conspiracy theory. They think he like just disappeared and moved into a different state or a different country, like, come on. Like, I'm pretty sure he's dead. Like, a lot of people said they seen him dead on the toilet. Come on. Like, there's plenty of reports saying that he was dead on the toilet. So, where he took off to is beyond me, so yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of things. The Bigfoot one. I mean, Bigfoot. I I think it's just somebody walking around the woods. Tell it the truth. I think it's somebody walking around the woods with some scraggly clothes. It's probably lives out there in the woods, and he just walks around. And he's a taller guy, probably over 6 foot. Probably close to 7 foot. Burly guy, doesn't shave, so his hair's long, his beard's long, you know, don't get me wrong. It's possible. I don't think there is a Bigfoot out there
There's
though.
there's no Bigfoot, man. If
No.
there was Bigfoot, we would have found like dead their dead
There's
bodies.
yeah. There's so many things coming up, especially now. Like, I forget where we went. I went somewhere, and it was like it was down towards Dayton, and a couple of weeks ago, and it was like one of the towns we drove through was like this. We've had 13 sightings of Bigfoot in this town, and it's like, what? Where? No, come on, really? We're just now coming up with that down here in this town? Like, come on, like, I get it. You're trying to make it a tourist attraction, but like, you don't have to say that Bigfoot's here and then another city 400 miles away is saying the same thing. Like, there's no way that he's just, what is he in, like some portal that he walks through a portal and goes to a different town or what? Like, come on. Like, I don't think we have the technology for that yet, guys. So like let's not push it, okay? So I don't know. There's a lot of things about that, like that. Just the same thing with like Dracula. I mean, and being vampires out there. Like, is there vampires? Probably not. There's, I don't think that there's vampires walking and, only come out at night and bite people and, turn them into other vampires. There's no real thing. I really don't believe that that's true. So, you know, but that's people going off of movies, thinking that the movies are correct. And, so let's put, teeth on us. Let's, sharpen our teeth and, drink red wine all the time and say it's blood, I don't know. I'm going to get someone pissed off today. So I'll tell you that much. But yeah, I think there's a lot of things out there that, Russell, I know you got lots of different things. Throw a conspiracy up there, Russell, because I know you got tons of conspiracies that you can talk about.
What do you I have my thoughts on this, but what about like psychics and like those people that do like the tarot cards and all that crap?
I think it's weird. I don't think they can really read your mind and tell you the truth, like tell you what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah.
It's one of those things I don't feel it's true. I think I feel like sometimes when you go to those, they kind of ask you tons of questions ahead of time. And then then they kind of just put two and two together, or come up with the names and stuff. So I don't know. I don't believe that it's totally true.
I don't believe any person on earth has the power to do things like that, to have supernatural powers like that. I mean, yeah, that's just bull crap. It's a scam. People actually buy into it and believe it because they want to have some type of hope on something.
Right.
So they have to use that as like maybe something psychologically that puts them at ease. But yeah, I mean, it's a scam, and it's kind of funny. It's like people actually pay a lot of money for that. Remember Miss Cleo back in the day?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, there were so many. Like there were so many that What about people say there was the original moon landing was faked? What do you think about that? There you go.
We kind of talked about that not too long ago.
We did. I mean, do you think it's true?
I think the moon landing was true. I don't think it was staged. No, I don't think it was staged.
I don't think it was staged. I think it was true. So what's
people like,
up, Ricky?
Why is flat waving? It's because there is less gravity on the moon, and they had that when they took the flag out. It was all wrinkled and stuff, so it kind of has the appearance that it's waving and
Yeah, I think it also
it's like you got to think that the rocket ships, whatever landing that they have, there's like fans and air coming out of those ships too. So
how about this? I just pulled this one up. It said that Paul McCartney died in a car accident in 1966 and was replaced with a look-alike Scottish person. Do you believe that's true?
No. That's right now. The big thing right now is Selena. People are saying Selena Gomez died and they replaced her.
My gosh. See, it's all these different things. I there is lookalikes, but I don't think that they're going to be exactly the same person or act like the same person, to come out and be like, it's just weird.
Like, for people who believe that, I'm not like crapping on you, but think about this. The lookalike has family members, right? So you're telling me that if they replaced, Paul McCartney and to this guy, and you don't think like 12 cousins or brother or sibling or mother or neighbor would be like, that's not Paul McCartney, that's the kid that grew up down the street, and call him out. No one's gonna be tight-lipped about that, especially even nowadays with the whole Selena Gomez. Like, you don't just take somebody and be like, okay, here's a new person, because that person that you just, if that's the case, that person that you replaced has a whole family, went to school, like has had friends growing up. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's just that's a lot to put out there and say that all these people, have disappeared and then come back and, there's no, like you said, there's no way. Like, I don't believe that. Yeah. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find another one on here. Do you believing in conspiracy theories are crazy or make you crazy?
I don't think they make you crazy. I think people that believe in them are crazy.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it is something different. I mean, I don't know. I think you try to believe in things because, they could be true, they could be not true. And so you kind of go off of them sometimes, and then it becomes a conspiracy theory. So,
Is Tupac alive? Is Michael Jackson still around? Like,
yeah, a lot of people think Michael Jackson's still around. He just, bleached his whole body for years and years, and now he's alive. So I don't know. What about here? Here's a good one. 1 in 5 or fewer think that COVID-19 vaccinations had microchips in them. Do you believe that one? There's a one way out there in left field. Come on, guys. You think that they literally made up COVID-19 so they can microchip us?
I mean, that just makes me laugh. You can say a thousand other things about the COVID-19 vaccine,
right?
But when it comes to microchips, no.
Yeah.
No. Like, all right, how the hell are you gonna have a microchip that small? But what tools are you using that are so small or smaller that make the actual microchip? And how is the microchip powered, and how do you mass produce? Like, if there was microchips, right?
Right.
How many vaccines did they make?
That's what I'm talking about.
Thousands, right? So a company had to produce thousands of microchips. So that means a company that produces thousands of microchips has to have thousands of employees. And you tell me one of those employees didn't come out and be like, hey, yeah, there's microchips in there.
I feel like it would be a lot. Like you said, you would have to have either a lot of people constantly making these small microchips,
yeah,
or a big factory with robotic, whatever, making these chips nonstop. And think about it. It's going through a needle. It's not like you're actually putting anything else in there. It's through a small needle. So, I don't think that is microchip. There's no way.
Listen, like, why would they do something that's so difficult to do that way if they could just say, hey, put a bigger chip in a Tylenol pill, right, and you swallow it. Like, there's no need for them to put a microchip in a vaccine. They could just easily do that with Tylenol. They could easily do that with a prescription medication, a pill that's huge that you have to swallow that you don't know what's inside of it. Yeah, no, absolutely not. That's just kind of ridiculous.
Yeah,
and then why would they want to put a microchip in you? Like, what information they're trying to get? Most people have an Amazon Alexa in their house,
right,
that already tells all the information to. You guys all have now AI on your phones that you guys get a little way too personal. I've been guilty of it. Too personal on it and asking things like that. There's no need for them to put microchips in you when they have all that stuff, on the opposite end.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, guys, everybody's listening. Yes, government can listen to everything, and I think it's getting more and more where they're trying to make it available, and it's just trying to help us out to prevent things. And I think that's one of the things that the government doesn't want to come out and tell you. That's why they're listening. And like you said, Alexa hears us. Like, if you have an Alexa, I'm going to say it again. If you have an Alexa, they're going to hear what we're talking
100%.
about. But
But also
so
too, all right, if everybody's getting listened to and everybody's like, who is listening to all that crap? Like
right,
even AI on your phone, if you're typing all this information there, like who's going through that information? Like it's not like there's an alert. Oh my God, Scott said this.
right,
Like,
yeah. Come on, guys. Everybody, it's just kind of like, I hate to say it, but like our town is starting to work with something with the schools, our police department, and they're trying to hook up to where they can see all the cameras in all these schools, but then it's going back to a computer that actually lets somebody know when there's something that important is going on that needs to be addressed. So if there is a somebody listening, it's got to be a computer or AI system that's listening to know exactly when something's up that needs to be talked about or something. I don't think that it's literally, because otherwise then what do you got, 500 million people listening to everything. You'd have to have so many people listening to everything to find out exactly who's listening. So it just it's far-fetched out there, I think.
I will say though that there are things that companies are capable of doing, but they're not doing it for to spy on you. Like, come on,
No.
is your life that exciting that someone needs to spy on you? Like I know like Ring cameras, they do have the ability to start recording on your camera if need be, or even try to get footage that at a time in which your camera wasn't recording, because I believe those cameras buffer. Like
Right.
they record and then after like a certain while it deletes it, so it's ongoing, even though it doesn't save it. Because I do know like for some crimes and stuff like that, like high profile crimes. Oh, remember the I forget her name, the talk show host that they kidnapped her mother.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So that they were able to get that ring cam footage or camera footage from a camera that wasn't actively recording at the time, and that's how they were able to get the image of the individual that that had like the mask on and stuff at the front porch. So usually when you have a one of those doorbell ringers, when you hit the button, I don't know if it's changed, but usually when you
Right.
hit the button is when it starts recording. Um, I'm sure you could do it where like it senses motion and stuff like that. But that was something that legitimately they were able to get footage of, even though that camera wasn't recording at the time. Yep.
Right. Right. See, and I think that's a plus for people that are in that kind of industry that need to know exactly if there's a kidnapping or a shooting or something like that. The police need to know that stuff, and I think that's a plus by having Ring cameras or having any type of camera on your home, because even if you're not recording, if they can get in there and be able to do that, that helps out a lot. Solving the case and hopefully making it easier to finish up whatever needs to be finished up. So I don't see anything bad with that, but like there's just a lot of people think that that's them trying to pry into their lives and stuff. So I think a lot of people are now trying to not buy Ring cameras or Blink cameras or any of them anymore because they're worried about what's going to happen.
And what do you do?
So and what's
What are
going to
you
get
doing that you're
recorded.
so worried about somebody? Like I have a Ring camera outside that of my house that it's in my driveway. So anytime a car pulls in or somebody walks in my yard, my front yard or whatever, it'll start recording. But like I'm out there, doing my yard work, washing my car, doing stuff around the house. Like if somebody wanted to spy on me, okay. What-
Yeah, go for it. Like,
it's not even going to be exciting, but I would not. On the contrary, I would not have Ring cameras recording in my house, which some people do. You know,
yeah, I wouldn't have it in my
I mean,
bathroom.
just out of embarrassment, not that I'm
When
doing anything bad, but like
when,
if I walk, if like
right,
if I walk around, if if I walk out of the shower and I forget to grab a pair of underwear and I run across my room, my house with nothing on, like that's what I'd be embarrassed about. There's nothing in my house.
Right.
It'd be just as boring.
Yeah, I don't think I would have one in my house.
It'd
Yeah.
be just as boring as them watching the videos outside. So I don't care.
Yeah. Who wants to see us, right? Who wants to see us naked? Come on. I don't want to see somebody else's nakedness walking through the house. So, like, I get that too. That's just, if you're gonna have cameras, definitely put them outside. I mean, don't put them in the house.
Yeah, don't point it at your bed.
Why?
But still, I mean, who's
Yeah.
They can hear me snoring. Who cares? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there's so many different other conspiracies out there. If you guys have any other conspiracies, definitely hit us up. We'd love to talk about them. I know we've talked about a bunch of different things in the past, but we'd love to talk about them again. I think there's been a lot of different ones that have come up over the last couple of years, like with the Mandela effect and all that stuff going on. That is definitely making a big thing out there. So let's hear them, guys. Definitely let's hear them, because I know JC wants to talk about it, and I do too.
For those who think that the government are watching you or trying to watch you through cameras and stuff like that, you don't have that much of an interesting life that they want to do that.
You never know. Someone might think they do.
Yeah.
See? Here's a good one. What about Meyer versus Oscar Mayer? Supposedly it was Mayer, and they're saying now it's Meyer.
All you gotta do is sing the song.
Yeah, I remember it.
My baloney has a first name. It's Oscar. Mayer, Oscar Mayer.
It was Mayer, guys. Why are we trying to change it around? Did somebody else buy the company? Is that what really happened? Somebody bought the company and now they're trying to change it? I don't know. I really don't know. The Berenstein Bears. I remember that too. They changed it around just a little bit. That was a book way back. So, okay, here's one that says it's very okay. Wow. Okay. The Queen song, the song "We Are the Champion," is often misremembered to be at the end with a phrase "of the world" when it actually does not. Do you remember the song?
I could, yeah, I definitely know the song.
I don't remember it saying it at the end, but I think that's one of those things. I don't know. Like, I really didn't listen too much to Queen when I was younger, and I don't really think that there was a time that I ever did watch it. But maybe they did change it because they made that movie about Queen. So maybe they changed it at that point to say, all that to the end. I don't know.
Are you saying it never said it, or that it?
It's saying that, yeah, at the end of it, it ends with a phrase "of the world" when it actually does not. So it never did have "of the world." So it just said "We are the champions."
I mean, we could play it. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be one of those things where like we think that's what the lyric was, and it ends up being something else, and it sounds like it.
Yeah, it could be it. Like, could be one of those things that, probably just was different. Maybe like you said, maybe we thought it was, and it really never had on there. Because I mean, there's a lot of people that think certain songs are phrased differently. So, and it just could be different, change that way. So, let's see here. Okay, how about this one? What about Jiffy, the peanut butter, and Jif? Which do you believe is correct?
No. Oh, that's easy, man.
Which one is
people confuse Jif and Skippy. so they put Jiffy. Jiffy never existed. It was Jiff or Skippy. Those are the two. So they just confused the names. They just merged the two and say Jiffy.
Correct. I believe you're correct on that one because I do remember that. So yeah, that was never.
Yeah, us here on Landscaping to the Point just debunked a Mandela effect.
Yep. Do you believe the Monopoly man? Does he have a monocle or not?
That's another one where they confuse the Monopoly guy with the Planters Peanut with the monocle guy.
That's correct.
They both have top hats. That's what happened. So to my knowledge, the Monopoly guy has never had a monocle. Mr. Peanut has a monocle.
Correct. Yeah. What about Darth Vader? Does he say, Luke, I am your father, or Luke, no, I am your father? That's another one that's been coming up too lately.
I think a lot of people misquoted that movie.
Yeah.
And I think he does not say, Luke, I am your father.
Right.
I think he says something different, but
he says, no, I am your father.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think people just think that, it was Luke because he was talking to Luke. So he was pretty much saying, Luke, I am your father.
Yeah.
And I think it was, no, I am your father.
That's a misquote that people just kept on.
Yeah. People have just, over the years, have continued with it. And it's just.
Think about it, right? Back when that movie came out, it was in theaters. So it's not like today where you could go on YouTube and rewatch a clip. Back then, like once you left the movie theater, you can't see that clip again. So whatever people recalled after leaving that movie theater, they're gonna repeat what they remembered, and they're most likely gonna misquote what was said. And then back then, Luke, I am your father, just continued throughout the years, and where everybody believed that was the actual correct line.
Right.
Yeah.
What about, here you go. Here's another one. What about Forrest Gump?
We're just debunking these left and right.
Yes. What about Forrest Gump? Do you think he said, Mama always said, life is like a box of chocolates?
Again, that's another one that I think that they misquoted.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Even then, like when Forrest Gump came out back then, the technology that we had back then, we weren't able to like kind of go back and see unless we press rewind on the tape, which most people didn't.
Yeah. Guys, you got to think about these things. Just like Cruella's in the Disney music, in the Disney movies, they said her last name was DeVille, which is spelled Devil, and a lot of them think it's Devil, which means devil. And really, it's not. It's the other way around. See, and a lot of people think that it's not. So,
yep.
There's a lot there that I think we all think that it's one way, but it's actually the opposite way. So yeah, there's a lot out there, guys. A lot of conspiracy theories. All right, what kind of joke you got for us today, JC?
All right. So how nowadays, is Brightstone on?
No, he's not. I don't know where Brightstone is. Brightstone, please get on. I sent him a message. I don't know why he ain't answering. He sends me He sends me good jokes all the time. So I have no idea where Brightstone is.
All right. So a frog goes into an office to get a DNA test done. Like those you find out like that you're half Asian, or you have 25% like Viking, or So anyways, so this frog goes into this to the office to get a DNA test done to kind of find out about his ancestry. So a week later, they call him. He comes back to kind of review the results. And they're like, all right, you're 25% crocodile. You're 15%. You're 25% Italian.
Okay.
Your 40% fraud. I'm just butchering my own joke. All right, he goes in, and he says, all right, you're 25% Italian, you're 25% French Canadian.
Okay.
He goes, you're 49%. No, I'm sorry. Yeah. You're 49% in Indian,
Okay.
but you're just a tadpole. Like
Oh my
Polish.
gosh.
Tadpole.
That's awesome.
I just butchered it. Delivery's no good. Sorry, guys. My delivery.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right. I don't think it was that bad.
Yeah. It's
It's
definitely a
fun.
Brightstone level joke.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It is a Brightstone joke
But
level.
lately, his jokes have been riddles.
Yes, they
Yeah.
have. They have. Oh, yes. How can you tell if a hamburger was grilled in space?
How can you tell if a hamburger was grilled in space? Something with flipping it, right?
No.
No.
It's meteor.
I
There
like
you
it.
go, guys.
That's a good one. I like it.
There you go.
Yeah. Definitely bad joke material.
Yeah, it is. It's a little bit dad joke, but what do you put on a lonely grilled cheese? A lonely grilled cheese.
What do you put on a lonely grilled cheese? I don't
Provolone.
know.
See, guys, we got some jokes here, guys. Okay,
That would be
end this
that would be better if you said, "What kind of cheese is lonely?"
show.
Provolone.
Provolone. What computer sings the best? It's a real easy one.
What computer sings the best?
Yeah. You don't know?
No.
Come on, it's probably right sitting in front of you. Adele.
That no, I don't get it.
Adele the singer.
Oh, Adele the
computer.
Okay. Yeah.
Adele computer.
Adele.
Get it? Adele.
I got it. Yeah. I'm not a fan of her music, I guess. Yeah.
But see, it was one of those things, Oh, guys, I think we've had some really good talks here. JC, anything else you want to put out there? It's been a hot week, so everybody definitely make sure you're drinking lots. Definitely keep hydrated, right?
Yeah. So speaking of the Mandela effect, we're gonna get to a point where our listeners and our fans can be like, there used to be 3 people on that podcast, I think,
That's
right?
Yeah.
No,
maybe no. There was always 2.
Scott and JC. It's
Yeah, there was always 2.
Yeah.
There was never 3 people
never
on
a
here.
third.
No, never.
Never.
Never has been 3 people. We just took a photo with this random guy that was walking on Chicago, and we just thought we'd put him up on a photo with us.
Yeah. We gave him $1. He was asking for $1.
Yeah. Asked for $1 so we could get a piece of pizza on the side of the road, and we gave it to him.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's only been 2 of us, me and JC.
The Mandela effect of landscaping to the point.
That's right. All right, guys. So we had a great show here today. Thank you guys for all listening. Love to see you guys back next week. I will be out for a couple of days, but we'll be back by the end of next week. So if JC wants to do one next week later in the day, we will be back. But thank you to our sponsors, Cujo Yardwear, for some great shoes, boots. They got some great new shorts out there. So if you're looking for some workwear shorts for yourself in the green industry or outside, definitely hit up Cujo Yardwear. You can use Acme 10 so you can get 10% off. Or you can definitely, if you're looking for some tires, some trailer tires, lawnmower tires, contact Antigo Tires. Code is Acme Tires. I think it's Acme Tires 10, I think it is, and you get 10% off of their thing. And then if you're looking for any green products, definitely contact DGP Products. They have some green products for your oils and chainsaw lubes and everything else. So definitely contact them. One of the great green products in the green industry. So, but thank you guys for all listening and watching. And we'll be back next week and we'll have a different topic. And JC's going to rock it out just like